What is happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back, and we're talking more transfer news, talking Summerville, talking about the squad depth at Leeds United. Want to know how worried some of you guys are. I already see somebody there saying they're not too worried before, but now a little bit nervous. Wondering how many other people are like that. Going to speak about an update on the fee for Summerville, which alleviates my personal opinion about it too. But before we get into that, please hit a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, drop your comments below. Thank you to Mr. P and thought I'd remember, but no, I've forgotten. Hold on a minute. Smooth. William Morrison, of course. Yeah, thank you for the super thanks on the last video, guys. Much appreciated. And listen, thank you to all existing members. Appreciate every single one of you for the extra support. If you want to become a member of the channel, the link is in the description or is next to the subscribe button called join. So yes, listen, afternoon to everyone. It's afternoon 4 and evening, morning, night, wherever you are around the world. It's all good. Nigel saying good news needed. Well, look, I feel it's good news, Nigel. I mean, yeah, losing Summerville isn't good news, but when I bring up the squad depth, I think you should be a little bit calmer, or people should be a bit calmer. That's my opinion, though. I speak for myself. I don't speak for you. You make up your own minds, of course. James saying disappointed Summerville is gone, but this was expected. We still have a very strong squad. Now we focus on who will come in next year. And also we're going to look at not in depth, but we're going to speak about links that we've had before, just updates on those players too. Silly in there, 49ers out. That's crazy, silly. Come on now. Come on. Actually, you might be a troll because I don't Campbell come into Leeds. Come on now. Let's not do this. But no, people. Obviously, we did the stream yesterday. In fact, we did two, didn't we? And the last one was in regards to the fee. We had heard it was 25, and you're thinking, ugh, that's too low. You know, even without anything else known, 25 seems very low. But just to get into it, he's doing his medical today. West Ham are looking to get this concluded very quickly. They're going to America next week, and they want him to join for at least part of the tour. So I expect the medical to be done today, and then the signing will, if at latest, probably tomorrow. But it seems that West Ham want to get this done and dusted very quickly. So, and I've just seen as well that they've agreed terms with Wan-Bissaka. They're still agreeing terms with Man United. And I saw as well Lopetegui saying we're here to make noise. So obviously West Ham are being very ambitious, and this is part of it. But what we got as well, yeah, listen, shout out to everyone that's in the house right now. Yeah, yes, I'm live and direct right now. What we got though was extra information, and this was all around the place as well. This is just nicely summed up here. It was on a lot of websites as well in regards to this person that has told the fee for Summerville, which hopefully will alleviate some people's thinking. So I'm interested to get your thoughts live and obviously in the comments after. Arinda in the house. This is you, Arinda, right? Yes, bro. Good to catch you live. Good to see you too. And thank you for the super chat. Summerville financials, here we are, is thought to be 25 million base transfer, fee paid in installments with a further 5 million of performance-based standard add-ons. So that portion, we don't know. That could be appearances, could be goals, could be assists, could be a mix of both. We don't know that portion. And I guess until they're met, unless this person leaks it out again, we'll never know when that 5 million is due or when it will be paid. So we're going to have to go along with that. But the additional one, an additional clause related to the full senior international debut, means Leeds United could earn as much as 34 million if all add-ons conditions are met. And for me, that is a much more realistic one. I mean, if you cast your minds back to the Euros, I was saying about Holland, they kept on swapping out that right-hand side seemingly every half. You know, they'd start somebody there, then in the second half, someone else would come on. And I was saying, it's a shame Summerville played championship football. Otherwise, he would be in that squad now and probably filling out an obvious spot for him. So I do see that as an achievable add-on. So when we do see Summerville play international football, full debut, it will mean that we'll get some money for that. And I think that is achievable. What's good for me is that none of these add-ons seem to be, if West Ham reach the Champions League or win the Premier League, it's nothing unrealistic like that. I feel they're achievable. And with these add-ons as well, West Ham will want to pay them because it means Summerville is being the investment they thought he would be. But if he doesn't meet those, let's just say he doesn't, we've got a base transfer of 25 million to play with anyway. So I'm much more happier than I was yesterday because I'm a big proponent of what the 49ers have done, big fan of what they've done so far. But when you're hearing 25 for Summerville, best player in the league, and you see what other players go for, you're like, eh. But with it being a deal now worth 34, gotta say I'm much more relaxed, people. Much more relaxed. So yeah, you're only guaranteed the 25, but everything else is performance based or on the chance that he gets called up for Holland, which I think is very, very possible. If he does go for Holland, by the way, I think he's eligible for a few, but I think he does want to play for the Dutch team. So there we go. Russ saying can't complain if we're getting the full 34. Yeah, I mean, like I say, we'll never know with the 5 million because that could, even though it's 5 million, it could be 2 million after say 25 appearances or 5 goals, 5 assists. We don't know that portion. It's only the international bit we know. Um, Let's have a look, Gavin. The West Ham realised Bamford's in the deal. Tremendous. So yeah, so give me your thoughts on that. I mean, you don't have to do it now. Do it in the comments after. But yeah, I'm a lot happier with that. 34 is great. Listen, I said before I thought it would start at 35, rising to 40, but that's the fan in me. Of course, we're going to overinflate it. These are real business people, and if that's the best deal that they could do, and they're happy with it, with the installments as well, then who are we to say otherwise at this point? I think 34, if we get to it, is a good deal overall. I do. So now it's about what we're doing next, isn't it? What are we doing next? Peter asking, do Feyenoord have a sell-on clause? They might do, Peter. I guess we'll find out when the deal's complete. Yeah. Um, Yeah, it is as well. Daniel saying Somerville for 25 million is a bargain for West Ham. Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, Daniel. And it's because we're in the championship. It's as simple as that. If we're in the Prem, I don't even think that we possibly talk to West Ham. I think maybe if they bid, it would have to be something substantial. But when you're in a championship and you've got a talent of that level, you can't hold him back. And that's the thing. People keep talking about the profit and sustainability rules. We're in the black with that. That's all well and good, but it's about the talent of the squad. You can't fail to get promotion and keep all your key players. You just can't. It's unrealistic. And I'm going to show you a bit later what the parachute payments running out looks like as well. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to show you a little something because it's scary, and that's why we need to go up this season. And this is it, J Dog. And this is the thing that else is that just keeping me relaxed at this point in time. We haven't done this a week before the transfer deadline. We've done this a month away, and we've got a month to recruit. But what I would like to see the 49ers do is when Somerville's gone, I want to see a replacement, at least one of them, because we need two people to replace Somerville, and we'll get into the depth in a bit. But I want to see these deals done pretty quickly. I would love to see these players come in before the first game of the actual season. Would be nice if you could get one in before the Valencia game, but that's probably wishing a bit too much. But if we can get one in before the Portsmouth game, that would be brilliant for me. Natalie here saying sell-on clause would be good as potential to go higher than West Ham. Oh yeah, Natalie. Yeah, I said this yesterday. West Ham is not his final destination. Unless West Ham go on a mad one and become one of the best teams in England, he's going to play at a higher level. That's the way I see it. Some of you may disagree. That is cool. But I feel if you've got a sell-on clause on that as well, yeah, you're going to rake it in because this is what happens. The big clubs always miss out on this portion of the transfer. They always miss out on the 25. They usually pay the 70, 80 and upwards, don't they? So I do see him going higher than West Ham. I not saying West Ham is going to be a stepping stone, although I'm kind of saying that, aren't I? But I do see him playing at a higher level, definitely for Somerville. Um, Yeah, so okay. All right. So let's move on from that. So there it is with Somerville. And listen, good luck to Cree Somerville. Excellent player for us, but we've got to move on and we've got to look to our future and look to our now. And obviously, we're looking at this squad as it is right now without the additions coming in. So we still need, as you can see from the graph there, we still need a left back. We need another midfielder, of course, and we need another winger. So we've got gaps that need to be filled, but I'm talking about our squad as it is now because I keep seeing this. People keep messaging, we're weaker. Yes, losing Somerville makes you weaker. Of course it does. But is the squad overall weaker? I disagree. I disagree. Andy here saying, I'd like another goalkeeper too. I don't see the point, Andy. And the only reason why I say that is because Melier is clearly going to be the number one. So what is the point? If you've still got Darlow here, even though Hull City seemingly won him back, I didn't put Cairns' name on there, for, why put on the third choice goalkeeper, but there's no point having yet another goalkeeper unless you're moving one out, Andy. And Melier is the undisputed number one in Danny Farker's eyes, even made him vice captain. So, yeah, I don't see the point in a goalkeeper for me, and that would take away from the areas that we do need to recruit in. Um, And yeah, people saying get rid of Darlow. I hear it. I hear it. But yeah, I hear it. And direct here said no, no. Come on, man. Direct. Come on. What is that? I'm going to ignore the first one. The squad is looking good. Still make top two with the squad. I believe that too. I absolutely believe it too. I'm not deviating from that. And I would, and I, again, I would ask anyone that feels there are two better squads than ours in this league as we stand today. Put them up and and look at their players player for player, and then you'll get your answer there. They're not. There isn't two squads better than this one as we speak today, and I want to make that clear. But look at this. You know, we're looking at that. You got Meslier in goal. Yeah, that's a weak spot for me. It is. I don't trust Meslier, but he should be serviceable at this level. But when then you look at our defense, Firpo, Strout, Road, and Bogle. And listen, people, you can rearrange these names and put in the starter whoever you like. That's not the point of this one today. We have a glaring need at fullback, which Daniel Farker has already mentioned. So we are strong in defense, people. And you talk about people talk about goals. I'm already looking at the defense. I'm seeing Stroud. I see at least 4 or 5 goals from Pascal this season. Seeing Bogle being involved. You know, this guy scores from fullback pretty regularly for a right back. So I'm seeing 3, 4 goals maybe from Bogle and numerous assists. So there are goals even from the defense. Obviously, there you go up. You got Ampadu in defensive midfield, who is just the linchpin in there, captain and leader in the middle of the park where he should be played. How many are better in this division than Ampadu? I'd like to, see the names that you'd bring out to see who's better than Ampadu in that position. Not many, not many, if there is any. That's what I would say. And Gruev, obviously, I've put Gruev as backup, but obviously sometimes they're going to play together depending on Danny Farker's system. But again, that's not the point. I'm just showing you the depth of when you've got an 11 out there and then what's left on the bench at this point in time. You move on up, Rothwell there with Crew, Aronson, and of course, Aronson, as we know, can play on the left. But then even if Aronson goes to the left, you've got a bit of a gap in the midfield, which is why we do need another, for me, backup winger. And that's what I would do. I maintain my stance on that. I would much prefer Nanto to play on the left as long as he's here, of course. And we buy another 10. I would like to get in like a Gabriel Sara, who we'll speak about in a bit. That is my preference. Getting a number 10, getting a backup winger, that would do for me. Because no one person is going to replace Summerville. They're just not. Is that the same guy? Listen, I gave you a chance yesterday, man. You just can't help yourself. You're gonna have to go elsewhere, man. See you later. Oh, the trolls, they just don't know when to just stop, do they? Just, take a breath. You don't have to repeat your same things every day in the chat. Just relax. Just relax. But look, and also again, so yeah, Nanto on the left, Jorginho for me on the right, but it wouldn't surprise me if he's using it as an attacking midfielder, which obviously means then you need to get another right midfielder to complement James. You got, for me, I've got Joel Perot and Mateo Joseph starting for my own reasons, but then you look at the backups there. Maybe Gelhardt is probably the most questionable one, and maybe Gelhardt maybe goes out on loan if another player comes in. So look out for that. And of course, there's a Bamford backing up Joseph. And for me, and people talk about replacing some of those goals. You're going to get goals from Nanto. You're going to get them from Peru. You're going to get more from Jorginho. I wholeheartedly believe that. You're going to get some chipped in by Rothwell too. And then you've got the main man up front in Mateo Joseph, who for me is going to get at least 15 to 20. Cool, and if he doesn't come back to this video, it's cool. But that's how much I believe in Mateo. So you are losing a big influence, but there's a lot of wealth to go around, and this is before the replacement. So I ask you, people, why does this team, as it stands now, even without Summerville and even without the replacements, how does this team not finish in the top 2? And please, Chris Kingy, don't say Daniel Farker. Oh man, even though that is a legit answer, it is a legit answer. I'm not gonna lie. Direct here, we might even start getting set piece goals. Yeah, we've seen it. Yeah, we've seen it in preseason already. It seems to be a little bit of variation, and of course, this 10 that we bring in could be a set piece maestro himself. So there could be additional ways of getting goals, and that's important because that's part of the reason why we didn't go up last year. Last year it was a handicap for us. Andy saying we get top 2, injuries permitting. Yeah, and J Dog saying Nonto natural position is left wing, so should be good there. He'll be more than good there. Yeah, he would absolutely be more than good there. In the Premier League, he was our premier man at left wing, which people have got very short memories about. But the 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 vibe in the Premier League was Nonto and Prey. That was it. It was Nonto and let's hope for the best. He was the key man before he got that injury, and of course before that slough, Javi Gracia came in. Um, no, sorry, man. Let's have a look here. Yeah, I mean, Andy's saying, I have a feeling until we'll go. I hope not. Yeah, I mean, look, you just don't know, do you, at this stage? That's why I'm saying there's no guarantees. And obviously, if Nanto goes, we have a different conversation because things look very different without Nanto. Then the depth looks very different as well. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see in regards to that. Okay, direct saying as well, like it, more variety, more places to get goals, less reliance on one player. Hope Farker can follow through. Yeah, well, it's on Farker. That's another thing I keep seeing as well. People saying I like Somerville, but I'm going to enjoy getting goals from other areas or not so reliant on one player. I don't get that kind of mentality either. I think again that's a copium method to say, well, I'm looking forward to seeing other players getting goals. That would be like taking out prime CR7 Ronaldo out your team and saying, well, now he's gone. Someone else can try and get 70 goals a season. Now it don't work like that for me. But what you have to do is just cope, and you have to go forward and try and work out a new method. And that is what Daniel Farke is going to have to do. He's got no choice. Got no choice. Yeah, I was not a fan of Javi Gracia, man. That is legitimately on YouTube the only manager, and think of all the managers we've been through on my time on YouTube. That is the only one I've ever said Gracia out. I've never done it to any other manager, not even Jesse Marsh, as so many of you did. Javi Gracia, though, nah, he was just not it, man. Absolutely not it. So that is the only time I said Gracia out, and I didn't feel good about it, but I had to do it. Had to do it. Uh, mm, mm, mm. Jackie is saying the reason we're so reliant on Somerville is because everyone passed through. Sorry, it's because everyone passed through him because he was the best player. Yeah, that happens though. You know, you got a key player like that, he will see most of the ball. But what we've seen in preseason so far, people, and this is another thing to look forward to. Yes, it's they're friendlies, but look at the different kind of ways we've played in the preseason so far. Various tactics, various formations, various styles of play. It's looking very promising. If we can carry that into the season, I think people are again, once again, overestimating this Championship League. I'm sorry, I just don't. And I don't underestimate it, but I don't overestimate it like a lot of you do. It's a poor league. It's terrible. It was terrible last year, and it's going to be even worse this year. As long as we've got the quality that we've got that you can see on the screen, I think that we're going to be more than fine. But listen, people, if you disagree or whatever, put it in the comments, but put an explanation with it, please. Don't just say we're not finishing top two and leave it there. Tell me why there are two better teams than what you can see right there. And that's a good conversation. But yeah, listen, people, let's move on to the next bit because obviously Gabriel Sara is one of the players that people keep talking about in terms of replacement. Apparently, his price tag is 20 million. So that seems like it possibly won't be done. The only way I see that getting done is much like us with West Ham, where we've reduced the fee. We Norwich reduced the fee because they're not getting the fee that they thought they'd get from abroad, and Norwich have to sell. So if they have financial difficulties or need to balance the books a bit, maybe they lower the price and Leeds can meet them halfway or something. But at 20 million, yeah, I don't see that happening. Andy saying cheeky. I don't like that cheeky Andy. That's one of my pet peeves. Cheeky man. What's that? But yeah, listen, 17 million bid. Mm, even yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Look, we don't know. We don't know. Gavin saying we can afford 20. Just because you can afford, and this is another thing, just because we can afford it, does it mean you pay it? Does it mean you pay it? Like if you when you go shopping and you've got say £20 in your pocket, yeah. Just because something may be £10, you don't just spend it because you got 20, do you? You go, actually, shall I get this for 10 or shall I look somewhere else and get, something else for 250? You know what I mean? Just because you got it don't mean you spend it. You know what I'm saying? Cree is saying Sari's average. Ooh, big shout, big shout. Mr. P saying 15 million to test the waters. I'd go with that. Yeah, 15 million sounds more likely. And then if you can get the add-ons on, and get it up to 20, yeah, I'd understand that, because I do see Gabriel Sara, by the way, playing Premier League football. So I've got no hesitations about getting him. I just don't know what we're able to do at this level in terms of getting a Gabriel Sara. Darren, yeah, that's probably what I was looking at, 15 plus 5 on promotion. Yeah. But yeah, and I do think that as well, Andy. He is prem ready for me. Absolutely. He should be playing at a high level too. But if teams above don't come in for him, or the teams abroad don't have the money to get him, this is another way that Leeds United could give him an avenue to Premier League football. And by then, he'll only be 26 years old, people. So yeah, it's a no-brainer for me, but we'll see if anything happens there. Of course, there his sorry, Norwich fans, but there's his club mate as well, Jonathan Rowe. It would be interesting for me, but again, this would be a pricey winger. You're probably looking at over 10 million for Jonathan Rowe. Is that what we need? Does Jonathan Rowe come in and replace Nonto? Not for me, he doesn't. So that's a lot of money to spend on someone that's going to be battling out with Nonto, rather than taking his spot. I don't know with that one. Wait and see in regards to that. And of course, the Morgan Whittaker. I've said on here before about Morgan Whittaker that I thought he was going to stay the year at Plymouth, but it seems like they've got a price tag on him that just reportedly that it's around 10 million. I was looking around. Seems that he's got a 10 million price tag, which is not too much for Morgan Whittaker, but I don't know if that's going to be a viable option. That would be a right winger, which would take Jorginho back into the middle, and it would be Whittaker and James on the right, obviously, wouldn't it? So, yeah. As Rowe got 1 year left on his contract, I did not see that, but yeah, you never know. Still, you never know if they still want near double figures, as we saw with Sheffield United and Bogle. That wasn't cheap, and it's going to probably cost us in the end around 7 million for a player that had a year left on his deal. So, and Norwich will see Leeds as rivals as well, won't they? So yeah. So there's Morgan Whittaker. Now, what I wanted to show you just before we leave the stream, people, is what happens when your parachute payments run out and you become yet another championship team. I don't mean to bag on West Brom here, but I was looking at their page just because they just recently sold a player to Ipswich. And I looked down the page, I went, rah, oh my Lord. And this is what happens. And you saw the state of West Brom's team last year, very solid, obviously top 6, but it's very championshipy, isn't it? It's very, yeah, I can see them solid players in the championship, but there's no outstanding talent in the team because it gets stripped away every year you're down here. And look at what West Brom are saying they're delighted to sign. And listen, Devante's dad was the man, Andrew Cole, 180 goals, Premier League goals, no one pen. That was the standard. Devante Cole, though, he could do very well at West Brom. He could. But this is what you're looking at when the parachute payments run out. Yeah, meat and potatoes FC. Yeah, just solid brutes back there, innit? Carl Bartley in this era and everything, man. Crazy stuff. And then I went further, and obviously I just mentioned now Connor Townsend has joined Ipswich Town for an undisclosed fee, so he's moved up to the Prem. He was obviously one of their better players in the league as well. You lose someone like that, and then okay, who has decided to return home to Turkey for an undisclosed fee. This is what happens. And he may very well be homesick and everything else like that. But something tells me if they were playing Premier League football, he may have stayed. Yeah, he may have stayed, and he wouldn't be looking at a 46-game calendar thinking, you know what, man, I ain't doing this again. I'm out. Peace. But this is what happens, people. And that is why it is important. It's imperative that we get promoted this year. Daniel Farker, you've got to get the job done. You have to, because we can't do this again. We've done this too many times, people, with the Tongy, the Brownie, the Norris, Paul Green. We can't go back there again. I can't do it, people. I can't. Honestly, I can't do it. So yeah. Oh, geez, I can't do it. So there you go. Those are the dangers of staying in this league too long, people. And I'll leave you with that. But listen, give me your thoughts on anything discussed today. Has the revised fee, give you a bit more comfort? Are you waiting on the 49 to see what they're doing? Or does the squad depth, as it is right now, still give you enough comfort to say we're going to get promoted this year? Guys, give me your thoughts in the comments. Like the video before you go, and I'll see you in the next one, people. Peace out.